So if you've ever found yourself in a computer science class, you've probably played around with Linux a little bit. Learning some commands, navigating the file system. But, and this is a big but, there's a huge gap between that classroom experience and how Linux actually powers the professional world. We're going to talk about making that leap from just being a student to becoming a real pro.
And this slide, this really nails the difference. Over on the left, you've got college Linux. It's all about theory, basic commands, and hey, just passing the course. But on the right, that's industry Linux, and it is a completely different ballgame. We're talking about live servers, where one little command can affect thousands, maybe millions of people. The goal isn't just a good grade. It's about keeping vital systems up and running and, getting hired to do it.
Okay, so let's dig into where this real Linux actually lives and breathes. Because it's not usually on a laptop sitting in a classroom. Its natural habitat, well, it's much bigger and way more important than that.
Which brings us to the big question, right? If it's not just for homework on some desktop, where is this incredibly powerful tool actually being used out there in the real world?
The short answer? It's literally all around you. Every single time you stream a movie, check your social media feed, or buy something online, you are talking to a Linux server. It's that invisible engine humming away in some data center, delivering all the stuff that makes up our digital lives.
And we're not just talking about individual websites. Think bigger, much bigger. The giant cloud platforms, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, they are all built on a foundation of Linux. It's the bedrock of the entire modern internet. It is the operating system of the cloud.
Okay, so we get it. It's everywhere, it's important, but what does a professional actually do on these systems all day? Well, it really boils down to a core set of 4 essential tasks. This is what separates the beginners from the pros.
First up, services. Think of these as the heartbeat of the server. This isn't some abstract thing. It's the actual web server that's delivering your favorite show, or it's the application processing your online banking. A pro's job is to make sure these services are running, rock solid, 24/7. Because if they go down, the show stops, the bank closes. It's that simple.
Next, you've got logs. Okay, so when something breaks, and trust me, things always break, the system writes down clues about what happened in its logs. Learning to read these is like being a detective. You're piecing together exactly what went wrong step by step so you can fix it. Honestly, it's probably the most critical skill for figuring out the why behind any problem.
Then we have permissions. This is all about control. It's about security. On a live server, you just can't have some test script accidentally wipe out your entire customer database. Permissions are the guardrails that prevent that kind of disaster. And getting this wrong isn't just about crashing an app. It could be a massive security breach just waiting to happen.
And finally, disk management. Now, this might sound kind of basic, but it is absolutely vital. Just imagine a social media app completely running out of space to store new photos. The entire service just grinds to a halt. A pro is always watching the disk usage, always preventing these kinds of total and frankly pretty embarrassing failures before they can ever happen.
So look, these 4 things, services, logs, permissions, and disk management, they aren't just random technical skills. They are the absolute direct link between what you know and what a company is going to pay you to do. And that's the core message here. The skills we've just talked about, they aren't abstract ideas for a test. They are the day-to-day reality for system administrators, for DevOps engineers, for cloud engineers. Mastering them isn't just good practice. It's you actively building a resume with real, in-demand abilities. And why is this such a direct path? Well, the numbers pretty much tell the whole story. The reality is, Linux isn't just another player in the server world. It is the dominant force. The overwhelming majority of the world's servers run on it. And what that means is that the demand for people who really get industrial Linux is massive, it's constant, and it's growing.
Okay, so that's the what and the why. So let's wrap this up with the how. How do you personally start to bridge that gap? How do you start thinking and acting like a professional? It really boils down to a 3-step mental shift. First, forget about the graphical desktop. You need to live on the command line because that's where 99% of real server work happens. Second, get obsessed with that professional's toolkit we talked about. Make managing services, reading logs, setting permissions, and handling disks your new curriculum. And finally, and this is the most important one, change your whole perspective. This isn't just another subject to pass. It's a skill set. It's a foundation that you can build an entire successful career in technology on. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. The tech industry isn't really looking for more people who can pass a test. It is desperate for professionals who understand how its most fundamental systems actually work.
It needs people who can step in, solve real-world problems, and keep our digital world humming.